My name's Simonize, and welcome to another Simonize stream. Today, we're doing another Ulduar speedrun. Yesterday's run didn't exactly go as planned, but that's kind of how Ulduar speedruns go. It's a very difficult raid to speedrun because the hard mode bosses are actually pretty difficult. And when you try to push the team to the limit of going as fast as possible, well, sometimes bad things happen. But tonight, we're going to be playing on my main character here, this rogue, and the guild is bringing the main roster tonight, the strongest team we can put forward, and the goal is to beat the server best time on Benediction, which currently stands at 1 hour and 4 minutes. Our guild's previous best time is 1 hour 7 minutes, so we are close enough that it is realistic that we could take the server best time right now. So that's the goal for tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be links in the timestamps in the description. If you want to jump ahead to right where the speedrun starts or to any particular boss, you can do that. We are broadcasting these live on twitch.tv/SimonizeShow. So if you're watching this on YouTube, might want to pop over to Twitch. We could be live at the very moment you're watching. And to my live audience, hello, Ganja the Troll says, yeehaw, hello, it's all Dover, howdy partner, what is up, how are you doing? Today, we're going to go fast. I have to change my talent spec, first of all. So we're going to be bringing 2 different talent specs to the raid, and we're going to be switching back and forth throughout the raid. Really, our only job is to do as much damage as possible. That's the goal. So we're going to have standard Assassination. I'm using the 18-2 variant and 51 points down in Assassination. Then this one right now is a talent spec I usually use for solo farming, bindings and mounts and things like that. That's not really suited for raiding, so we're going to switch this one up to a more standard combat build.
Great to meet you.
Oh, Marty, how's it going? What is this? XQCF. What is this emote? It's a dude with a Canada. Is that a Canada flag? Is that what it's supposed to be? Oh gosh, hang on. The music is really quiet. Let me put it up a little bit. Actually, I think I just need to get rid of this track because this, I got an Animal Crossing music mix, but it just goes like really quiet sometimes. So let's just put on Diddy Kong Racing. We ready to pump tonight? Almost ready. Lindorn, how's it going? Kuhu, what is up? Werecat? Hi, hello? Let's get rid of these stupid talents and get talents that aren't stupid. Like this, and this, and this, and go 1 point in there. Get some aggression, lightning reflexes, 1 over there. Weapon expertise, blade twisting, vitality, combat potency, savage combat, prey on the weak, killing spree. Then we go over here. Do 5 there, 2 there, 3 there, 1 here, 4 there, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and 1 there. Yep, okay, so we hit learn. Then I go over to my slot add-on, and I get my keybinds. Fix the keybinds. We need a attack macro that does not use Sapper Charge, because we will be on... Wait, this one does use Sapper Charge. What the fuck? No, it doesn't. Because we're going to be on Drums of Speed duty. This one here. Increase movement speed of party members within 40 yards by 15%, lasts 30 seconds. This shares a cooldown with your explosive, so if I'm pressing drums pretty often, I don't want to have to micromanage like when I have a small window to be able to do drums or an explosive or not. Werecat says, I convinced the other hunter in my raid to go the Imp Hunter's Mark spec for TOGC, so super, super excited now. What do you get? That sounds like something only one of the hunters has to do. What do you get instead of that? I mean, I assume it's basically just kind of like being a debuffed bitch, like exposing armor as a rogue. It's like you're just going to do a little bit more individual damage if you don't have to do that. Oh, we got to fix our glyphs. In the combat set, spec, I mean, we want to do ban, killing spree, and faint. And then mid-run, we will make one glyph swap. At one point, we will switch in the Assassination build. Right after Algalon dies, we'll switch in the Assassination build. We'll switch into Band of Knives over Faint right here. Okay, we've got to go to... Oh, wait, no, I don't. I already have my Swiftness of Zanza. Okay, let's double check my consumable supplies. I have 0 Potion of Speed. That's a problem we need to fix. I also have 0 Wrath Elixir. We need to fix that problem, too. Okay. Let's go to my storage. You just add more range attack power to the raid with that spec, but lose some personal haste and a bit of % damage. It's only like a third of the damage lost personal as you add to every hunter in the raid. Oh, okay. It's not technically a main... I mean, it's the main roster.
Big pog.
There are some alts in the raid for composition purposes, but like it is a main roster in the sense, Felicity, that it's the strongest team we can put forward for a single raid. That should cover that. Some Thistleteas, another Drum of Speed. Wrath Elixirs.
Pog damage.
And a bunch of repair bots. XAOC000 coming in with a tier 1, 3 months of support. Says, are you exposed, bitch, tonight? Not tonight. Not tonight. Pactol with a prime sub also. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support, Pactol. Thank you very much. And Loose J coming back with a tier 1 for 4 months of support. Thank you. Says that belly lock is sus. I don't know about that. Okay, now we have 7 flasks. We've got some of those. Runestone. How our gear set's looking. Combat set. Assassin set. This set. That's looking good. Our poison supply is good. Is our gear repaired? Actually, yes. That's good. Let's review our raid assignments. Let's be a good raider and review assignments prior to the raid starting. Who could imagine doing something like that? That'd be crazy, right? Okay. Tricks of the Trade onto Elmlock for DPS. Trash would be Convict. You repaired, you're not planning on any death. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm not planning on any deaths, but I mean, even if I do die, look, I've got repair bots in my inventory. I can just deploy mid-fight. Okay. Damage dealing Tricks of the Trade goes to Elmlock. That's correct. To this one goes to Convict. That's correct. And then Focus Target. Let me see which other warlocks are covered. Creamsalagi, Bellylock, Elmlock, Thor. Creamsalagi, Shadow Priest, Elmlock, Bellylock, Thor. Okay, all the Affliction Warlocks, all the snapshotting classes are actually covered already. Which means my secondary tricks of the trade could probably go to like a Frost DK or any high individual damage output that's not using like pets or summons or something. Yeah, we can figure that out later, but good to know all the snapshot classes are covered with a tricks of the trade assignment. Wercat says, dumb question, but I assume drums share a cooldown with pots if they share... No, potion cooldown is different than grenade cooldown. That is not a group that is shared together. You've got your potion cooldown. That's essentially one group and shares like basically anything that has potion in the name and probably a couple other miscellaneous things. You've got your explosive and drum cooldown, which is basically every engineering explosive, every leatherworking drum, and I believe some of the combat pet summons, like Dog Whistle from Scarlet Monastery, and a couple other weird ones like that. And then you have another category that's your Health Stone cooldown, which has a lot of miscellaneous things. Health Stone shares cooldown with Thistle Tea, and shares cooldown... Gosh, I can't even remember. I can't think of one other thing in that category. Whatever. Warlock, Health Stones, and Thistle Tea is like your third cooldown, consumable cooldown group. Okay. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. I have to put my stream alerts out on some other Discords. Let me do that real quick. Copy this. Oh, Whipperroot Tuber Kroll, are you saying Whipperroot is on the Healthstone cooldown? Or is that another group? I don't know off the top of my head. I haven't used a Whipperroot Tuber in so long. Okay. Big pog damage. Pietro Sar95 coming in with a Prime sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Pactol says, hey Simon, enjoy your stream. Today was a good day. We got Fluxing Energy Coils and Runestone as combat. Ready to pump. Hell yeah, Blade Flurry. Let's go. We're going to be doing some sick Blade Flurries in this raid, that's for sure. When does your raid normally start? So the raid starts at 8. That's in about 12 minutes, but we usually do about a half-hour strategy review first, where we just look at the VOD from one of our last raids and go over to make sure everyone's on the same page, go over any strategy changes we're going to make, just kind of walk through the raid. So, because, like, mid-speedrun, we certainly don't have time to stop and explain stuff. So realistically, the speed run will probably start around 8:30, but that's kind of a little bit of an approximate time. We can actually go directly to Ulduar, because we've got our Swiftness of Zanza in the inventory. Should put it on the bar, though. If I put this... There, that looks better. Let's take a portal. Let's make a portal and take a portal. Actually, you want to see something? I put this out in a YouTube clip today. You can Dire Bruise your remote. Watch this. You Dire Bruise your remote into Blackrock Depths. You can get yourself a 10% stat buff that lasts 5 minutes. The people on YouTube really liked this stream, this little highlight. We did this last week when we were mount farming. So there's a band that plays here. And they say, look, plays every night at 8, but because you went in with your mole machine, you get this dialogue option to make them play right away. And then the band's gonna come out. And now once the band is here, you do a /cheer emote. You see. And now you have a 5-minute plus 10% to all stats buff. There you go. Pumped up. Yeah. One of the many stupid little details. Alright, we can go to Yojamba Island, whatever. Pietro Sar95 says, forgot to include message for sub, but just dropping by to support you. Watch your vids on YouTube, and I truly liked how technical and how you give accurate motivations for your explanations. Well, wonderful. I'm glad you liked my content. I appreciate that. Thank you for choosing to support me. Alright, we're on Yojamba Island because we got summoned to Yojamba Island. Most of the people in the raid are going to start with a Swiftness of Zanza active. They're going to drink one on the island. Then they're going to talk to the NPC, Zanza's Potent Potables, and get another one. You see, they're unique, so you can't hold more than one at a time. But you can drink one, have it active, and have another one in your bag. So most of them are going to do that because, you know, they want to have an extra Swiftness of Zanza in case they die. Whereas for me, I will not start out with Swiftness of Zanza active because I'm going to start out in my Assassination build, which has an inherent 15% move speed talent. So I don't really, like, this is a little bit faster, but I'll be able to keep up with the raid, and I'll just use my flask while I'm in Assassination spec. So this is for later. What's your second spec for speedrun? Just have a standard assassination and a standard combat. Could we please not die on council? Look, I did my best, but sometimes it ain't up to me. I cannot promise that. Look at this guy. Got Thunder Fury recently. It's kind of sick. What did he enchant it with? Let's see what he picked for enchant. Titanium Weapon Chain? Ugh, dude. I mean, I feel like you gotta do, like, 15 agility or Crusader. But he says it's BIS for BGs. Which, okay, I can respect that if he's actually rolling into BGs with this weapon. Personally, if I was just trying to, you know, do some flex weapons in Battlegrounds, you know, I would just use these bad boys, you know? Enchanted with the proper enchant, Mongoose. Don't make me get my main... Okay, listen, bro. I'll get Thunder Fury one day. Warglaives over Thunder Fury? I mean, I don't know if it's that obvious. I think, you know, Thunder Fury is still pretty fucking cool. The problem is, like, look at... Okay, this is really the problem with Thunder Fury, okay? When you look at it, it doesn't, since it sheathes on the back, the way it sheathes on the back, you don't stand out as much when the weapon is sheathed like that. When you have the weapon out like that, and like when he did before, like, it's way more visible, right? But when it's sheathed on the back, it's not super duper visible. Yeah, like that is good. Like, you can see it, you stand out a whole lot. Using Warglaives was much more satisfying than using Thunder Fury, according to Oraim. Yeah. Well, I haven't had the chance to judge about how cool it is to use Thunder Fury, so, you know, like, listen, we'll just get it Thursday, tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get it, and then we'll be able to make an assessment about how cool Thunder Fury is or isn't. Simon, where you living at the moment in the United States, and that's as specific as I prefer to be. It's great when your Thunder Fury procs in Undead Stratholme and pulls mob 30 yards in front of you. That's just efficiency. I mean, like, then you just get to do all the mobs at once. I've seen Stratholme pulls, like, on live side, where you're, like, pulling 15 to 20 mobs at once, and then you just, like, mow them all down. It's insane. Let's see, what are we looking at in terms of loot tonight? We're hoping for a Pendulum of Infinity would be a good pickup here. This is all best in slot. A second Blade Twister would be a minor upgrade. We have literally all the trinkets already. No, that is the reply code ring. Yeah, so actually it's Pendulum and it's Blade Twister. That's it. That's the only things we need left. Pendulum, actually pretty big upgrade. Blade Twister, kind of minor upgrade. I have Band of Lights in my bag, but I'm using Loop of the Agile. I actually want to get a Brand's Sealing Ring, the 10-man reply code ring, because specifically for AoE pulls, where your damage is basically all Fan of Knives based, your haste and hit stats are just, like, not very valuable. So I'm thinking specifically about the double pull of Vezax trash. I would swap out Loop of the Agile for Brand's Sealing Ring. Because Brand's Sealing Ring, similar to the Signet Ring, has crit and armor pen. Both stats that are very good when you're doing a bunch of Fan of Knives AoE. Whereas haste and hit, you know, which we see on both of these rings, are kind of low value stats when you're doing Fan of Knives AoE. I should probably join the guild Discord channel so I can hear what the hell is going on. Let's see. Okay, I can hear them. We got a Wrathstone last week. We got a couple things last week. We got a Fang of Oblivion, which is an upgrade for our Flame Leviathan set. It's our second item level 252 weapon. We got a Wrathstone and we got Skyforge. They're all like kind of minor or niche items. But the Wrathstone we'll be using for the double pull of Vezax trash. We have a full item rack set up for that. Let's see, we should put this on a hotkey. Wait, just do this. This is what we should do. Use 13. Wait, it's already baked into the macro, activating Wrathstone. Good. Which sword am I getting? Am I getting Andonisis, Reaper of Souls out of Stratholme? What, Andonisis? Oh, I mean, it's only the best sword. You only actually replace it until you get a set of Warglaives in TBC. They're talking about this sword. They're messing around with me. They were saying I gotta farm a sword out of Stratholme. And I was like, what sword drops in Stratholme? It's like, there's Skullforge Reaver off of Baron Rivendare, but there's also if you're clever and you're completing an Atiesh quest, you can when you complete the Atiesh quest, which is the legendary staff from old Naxxramas, one of the final steps of the quest, you have to summon the demon Atiesh to exorcise the demon's spirit from the staff. And when you fight the demon in Stratholme, you can disarm the boss. And what happens when you do that is he drops his sword on the ground, and someone else can pick it up and equip it. And the sword is called Andonisis, Reaper of Souls, and it is a insanely strong sword. Andonisis, Reaper of Souls. I actually have a YouTube highlight of me using this. So this is an 81 DPS weapon, 2.8 speed with, I don't know, just 600 attack power on it, which is which is a lot when you're level 60. Compare that to the stats on the regular best sword in Classic, Gressel, 73 DPS, 2.7 speed, and 40 attack power. This sword is so good that you wouldn't unequip it. If you could just compare it to every other weapon in the game, you wouldn't unequip it until you have both Warglaive of Azzinoth would be the first time you would want to unequip this sword. Wait, let me actually pull up the clip. Server first Atiesh Demon Legendary Sword stream highlights 2 years ago, you guys. 2 years ago, I didn't even consistently wear hats. Okay, that's how you know it's an old clip. We got one healer, warrior, mage, and myself. You can see I've got Ancient Karaji Ripper and Chromatically Tempered Sword. Not exactly very good. Everyone else in this group has world buffs. I didn't know I was going to be invited to this group, so I didn't go and like refresh world buffs or anything. So I kind of was invited last minute. So I was like, alright, well, I don't have world buffs, but okay. See, Atiesh spawns, and then he gets disarmed. You can see the disarm icon. And then you loot it off of the ground. You see it was right there. Now it faded away. Now I equip it. It's pretty good sword. It's pretty good. And the damage meter's over there. I'm climbing up pretty quick. Considering all those other people have full world buffs, and I got jack shit. And this demon does like AoE damage to the entire group. So the healer, Fred, is like going fucking wild, trying to keep everyone up. Keeping the tank up and the group at the same time. But this is staff for the mage here, Luna Kitty. Dude, this was like the first... Listen. We didn't see a single Gressel until week 17 of clearing Naxxramas. And this was like week 5 or whatever. It was the server first Atiesh, okay? What the hell? Fish Speaker Urtusk. Okay. Another perfect day for fishing, don't you think? I do not think so. go in our Flame Leviathan gear. That's what we'll start out with. Really need some higher item level boots. Got a 232 right here. Yeah, I don't have enough item level 252 stuff. That's my thought, really. Like, so many of this stuff, these things are not item level 252. I could really get a better Flame Leviathan set. You keep the sword after the boss. No. The thing about the sword is, it's bound. It says, this blade is dimensional. It appears to be fading from this plane of existence. It has a limited duration and is bound to being in Stratholme. It counts as a conjured item. Basically, it only lasts 5 minutes from when you pick it up. And if you ever zone out of Stratholme, it goes away. Okay, we are now into the strategy review portion of the stream. So we're watching a VOD from a couple days ago. We're at the start here, where we pull the Ignis trash into Razorscale. So we start that Razorscale encounter timer as early as possible. Like, Flame Leviathan dies, we teleport, one person runs to Razorscale to start the RP event immediately, whereas the rest of the raid engages those 2 Molten Giants in front of Ignis, and then one Hunter and one Healer runs down towards Ignis to pull that Ignis trash, which you see we're killing right now, and then Razorscale comes down and we just kind of finish cleaving off the trash. So then, you know, Razorscale goes down, as expected. Nedge, how's it going? Good evening. Okay, the best part about this VOD is I forgot to turn off auto loot, so every time we review that specific VOD, I remember to tab into the game and do auto pass on loot, so that stuff doesn't pop up mid-run. I don't have to click it. Oh, sick mode, what is the worth of it? Why should you... I was kind of joking around. I mean, it's just a ridiculously powerful sword, considering the other things you could obtain in Classic. It's not really used for anything outside of the Atiesh Demon encounter. It's just kind of fun to see. It's kind of like... Hang on. I have an idea. Hang on, I'm trying to load up the spreadsheet real quick. There's one other exceptional item. Let's go Phase 2 Combat Best in Slot. And what if we did Void Saber? There we go. Then we go Andonisis, Reaper of Souls. Wait, no, let's go Ceralis. Off. Hang on. Okay, let's save the DPS here. Now we'll go Andonisis Reaper of Souls. Only 164 DPS worse than Golden Serenite Dragon. Not that big of a deal. But now, the true masterpiece is the legendary sword you get during the Kilthos encounter, which is called Warp Slicer. 761 DPS upgrade. This is a wild item. Similar to Andonisis, this is bound to Tempest Keep, and, you know, you only get it during the Kilthos encounter. 2.9 speed sword, 120 weapon DPS, 25 crit rating, 70 attack power. The 2.9 speed is really slow, that's really good. The rest of that doesn't really matter, but this is the crown jewel of this weapon. Chance on hit increases movement speed by 50% and melee attack speed by 20% for 30 seconds. You basically just have this insane move speed and attack speed buff all the time when you're using this weapon. This is actually currently the best main hand in the game. It's just like you can only use it in Tempest Keep. Yeah, a lot of runs I remember doing where, like, we'd leave the... We would actually use the weapons on the Void Reaver, the big mechanical guy. So we'd go in, we'd kill Alar, we'd kill Solarian, and then we'd kill Kael'thas, and then right after we kill Kael'thas, we'd keep those weapons and we'd run over to the Void Reaver mechanical guy. Open up the timer. Oh, Simon, is it worth using Pyrite Infuser with Dark Matter? I'm hybrid and using 4-piece Dark Mantle for Shadow Step procs. What on earth are you talking about? I mean, you know me, I'm a Dark Mantle set enjoyer, but I'm pretty sure no one who's doing anything serious is actually using Dark Mantle these days. Lando, how's it going? Sikmo, the Ulduar starting as soon as we finish this strategy review, which should be around 15-20 minutes from now. Wait, hang on. Survival Boy in TBC, and to be honest, I miss melee weaving. Oh. Yeah, melee weaving had a troubled history of people, like, abusing third-party programs to automate the process. I really want to do a raid as Mutilate with this dagger. I really call forth an Ember of Azanoth. Just because I think it would be funny. We got to get Blue Hands buff also. It's important. It's not going to be tonight's run, but maybe the 10-man on Saturday. We'll be playing this character. They're talking about Algalon right now. It's all good. We're going to get our Blue Hands buff. We didn't get it. And we also didn't get any Ember. I want to see if the Ember spawns at level 70 or at level 80. No Blue Hands buff. There. Oh, we spawned one. What level is he? Oh, it spawns at level 80. Nice. Okay, that's good. That's good for Team Ember of Azzinoth. Look at him go. Trying to get this proc from my Bone Scythe armor set. Trying to find more mobs. The Blue Hands buff is very important because it makes my hands glow blue, which, you know, is pretty cool. And it just is a chance whenever I do an Eviscerate. Higher, it's 5% chance per combo point, so a 5 point is a 25% chance to get it. We'll get it eventually, trust. Okay, we're not getting it yet. Oh, my health is really low for some reason. Let's check back in. They're doing Hodir. It's fine. Oh, we're in combat. There we go, we got it. Okay, this is technically a DPS increase, by the way, so important raid preparation is what we're going to call this. Was the best Ulduar SR? Oh, speedrun. 107 was our best time so far. Alright, let's go back. We've done all of our preparation that we need. Okay, so they're talking about Thorim. Of course, the first phase of Thorim, it's all about just being safe. We don't want to screw anything up. So you want to be careful, make sure I switch my tricks of the trade. Oh, that reminds me, I should check assignments. For Flame Leviathan, we're driving Demolisher 4 in the upper left corner. Then Thorim, Elkbear, Disown, No Self, Simonize. We're directly behind the boss. Okay. On Freya, our kicks are going to be on Storm Lasher. Mimiron, Vezax, Yogg-Saron. We have Portal 6. Hell yeah. Right far. Okay. The spread. This is guild exclusive. It's just our assignment spreadsheet. There's literally, I think there are literally better spreadsheets that are like, I didn't make it, but this spreadsheet for gear assessment and seeing how good your Tempest Keep Warp Slicer sword is free and totally shared completely on the Discord. Let's look at if we go Mutilate and we go double Blade Twister. What if we go Blade Twister, Shard of Azzinoth? It's only a 600 DPS loss. What if we put it in the main hand? Then we'd have to switch. Ooh, it's more DPS loss in the main hand. So, like, the sheet doesn't even factor in the value, the insane value of the Embers of Azzinoth that gets spawned. So, like, they're probably, like, 800 DPS. And thus, it's actually a DPS gain. Confirmed. So this will be a double pull of the Freya trash. Simon, our Sunday run is basically dead. Where are we going? I haven't figured that out yet. I have to first figure out exactly when my guild's doing the PTR raid sessions and then plan my GDKPs around that. Stammers, Fat Hammer, hello, howdy, how's it going? Oh, shit, this is a hat emote? Look at this sick hat emote. Run howdy. Hell yeah. I like that one. Except his fedora, actually that looks like a bowler. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's so small, but I'd say that looks more like a bowler. But you see here with a fedora like this, there's... If you wear the brim like this, you're a Reddit moderator. But if you wear the brim like this, you're a cool 70s gangster, okay? It's an important distinction. Why do you keep talking about? Because it's an insanely good sword. And I'm trying to kill time while we do our strategy review. Should check if my weapon swap is working properly. That's a spot where I would want to do a weapon swap, so let me make sure that's all in place. Yep, that's good. And I'm putting on the berserking one every time. Okay, that's good. And in my assassination set, Let's see how, make sure the weapon swap's working properly. Okay, Blade Twister. Boot Blade. This is actually only swapping the main hand. That's not what I want. What the hell is going on with this macro? 17 Fell Striker, 17 Boot Blade. Do I have... Oh, it's probably screwing up because I have 2 Boot Blades. I know how to fix this. So I'm going to show Discord macros channel. We need this bit of code. Then I need to paste that in my chat box. And it gives me this, which I'm going to screenshot. Can move that over there, put this back down here, open the macro window again. Now instead of this line, I'm going to put item : 45930 : 3789. Now, this macro should work. There. It was getting screwed up because it wasn't able to differentiate between my Boot Blade with Life Ward and my Boot Blade with Berserking, but now I told it to look specifically for the one with Berserking. So if this is only 5.5 gold each, that's cheap for Benediction. Usually it's around like 9 or 10. Spider says, "Hi Simon, would Fang of Oblivion be viable for the binding runs? Or is a lower item level fist weapon better option?" I would not use a... well, you're using Hemorrhage. I don't know. I'd say try them both and see what you think. Probably be fine. So the main thing they're saying here is for this phase 3 of Mimiron, we want to kill the firebots immediately. And that's really important because the firebots, they put out fire, right? And that just allows more fire to spawn, which essentially allows the fire to just move around the room, basically. The goal is we get a whole bunch of fire, and then we get what's called fire capped, where there's like a limit to how much fire can spawn in the room, and once you're at that limit, it doesn't crawl around the room anymore, it doesn't spawn in new places when Mimiron shoots out fire, whatever. As soon as you're fire capped, like, you have really good control of where there's going to be fire and where there isn't, so it makes positioning, you know, significantly easier if you can have, like, a dedicated safe spot. And you can't maintain, like, a dedicated safe spot if you have firebots continually putting out the fires and then allowing more fire to spread. Nedge asks, what do you need on your main now? Right, we need another Blade Twister, and we need a Pendulum of Infinity. Second Blade Twister, not a big deal item. It's kind of a minor upgrade. But the Pendulum is a big deal. is the biggest upgrade we have remaining. Sold the Tiger Boss and Raptor Boss thanks to your YouTube guides. Wonderful. Well, good luck on getting the mounts. We're going to be trying those all again tomorrow. Last week, we got lucky. We got the mount out of Karazhan. Nedge, if you want to see best in slot information, there's all Phase 3 best in slot you can see on the Discord. So, for this Vezax, how we go into the room, and then there's 3 trash packs of, like, a bunch of humanoids and elementals, and then there's 2 elephants, and then there's the boss. The way it's gonna go is we double pull 2 of the humanoid packs, AoE them down, then we kill the 2 elephants, then with the final humanoid pack, we actually pull that pack at the same time as we pull Vezax. So we pull Vezax, essentially get the encounter timer started, and then handle that trash pack, and then go back to Vezax. Liquor Box, how's it going? They're talking about potentially doing a, like, stack in the corner strategy to give all the melees a Shadow Crash buff. But they're saying we're definitely not going to implement that tonight. I think, like, changing up the strategy isn't worth the potential gain. Like, introducing that as a new strategy isn't worth the potential time gain, which it's really just, like, kill the Animus slightly faster. So in this run, we go into Yogg-Saron at 1 hour, a little over 30 seconds. And yeah, we finished this one out with a 107. The one thing we did in this run is we did a 2 brain room kill, and we're definitely not doing that this time. Definitely committing to the single brain room pull. Excuse me. Yeah, we were so close on that one, but like they had called to go out, so we went out instead of committing. We would have had it if we committed, I think. So we'll definitely commit this time. I think if everything's looking reasonably good. Someone got mind controlled. I had to off them. That's just how it goes. Pretty good. Pretty good. We still have our blue hands buff, revealed flaw. You see, it's like cold blood makes the hand glow blue. Technically DPS increase also, because I am eventually going to cast Sinister Strike, and this is going to guarantee that that Sinister Strike is a critical strike instead of only maybe being a critical strike. Does it glow super blue with cold blood on? Let's see. Activate cold blood. Yep, it does. It glows a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Almost fell off the cliff. Iron Concourse. Yeah, we'll make it there. That's fine. We should actually cancel that. We don't actually want to have Cold Blood activated from the very beginning. We got an other Proto Drake on this guy, I think. Yeah, we have the Rusted Proto Drake. That's the 10-man one from Ulduar. It's kind of lame, if you ask me. Wait, how did I lose a durability? Oh, probably when I was farming the Revealed Flaw, I might have lost a little bit of durability. 1 gold repair? Okay. Formation grounds. Okay. Here we are. Wilts, right now we have a gear set for the first boss equipped. This is Flame Leviathan, so we have Flame Leviathan gear. The gear that we're using for Flame Leviathan is simply just the highest item level stuff we can equip in every slot, because that's how that boss works. It scales up your vehicles. Just purely based on your item level. Has nothing to do with what speed your weapons are. Okay, now we need to instant poison there, deadly poison there, instant poison here. What else do we need to do? We need to instant poison that. It'll be used on I don't think we need to prepare anything else. I think we're actually good here. Oh, we can, boom, this flask. There we go. Alright, we're no longer doing a strategy review. Let's get that off of the screen. Let's put the timer back on. Should be, like, good to go soon here. Gonna get buffed up, and then we're gonna get into our vehicles. Arkinito says, good luck with the speedrun. You're gonna lurk. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy your lurking. Mistletoe. Wish a friend some season's greetings. This sounds selling mistletoe?
2, 1.
Okay, whatever. Just saying that's not really the holiday spirit that you gotta sell the mistletoe. Acquired our health stone. You have to kill every boss for a speedrun? Yes, you do. And if any boss that you don't do in the hardest difficulty gives you a time penalty. So everything's going to be on the hardest mode. Do I have a... Trying to think of a better keybind for the drum. They're currently on B. It could go on G. There we go. I like that bind better. A little bit easier to push my finger to. You have to kill, not on Hodir. Oh yeah, since Hodir's hard mode is literally only a time check, there is no, I'm pretty sure there's no actual time penalty for not killing Hodir in hard mode. Yeah, I'm aware I have no poison on my offhand, don't worry about it. We're in our Flame Leviathan gear set because the next boss is, well, Flame Leviathan. Okay, here we are. Oh, I forgot to set someone as my focus for Tricks of the Trade. I'll probably set Supra focus for the time being. Alright, we're just downing some pyrite and getting ready, making sure everyone's, 100% ready to rock and roll. The speedrun timer starts when Flame Leviathan dies. So, if we have like a vehicle death or some player deaths during Flame Leviathan, we'll likely reset. Because we want to be 100% when Flame Leviathan dies. Okay. Okay, pull timer's out. Time to switch to the Doom music. Launch. Activate Pyrite Cannon. There we go. We're full on the debuff. Now we can be a little bit conservative with our Pyrite expenditure. Alright, we're going to move a little bit because boss is getting kind of far away from us. Keep launching some pyrites. Keep our stack at 10. I'm going to try to reposition a little bit because there's not much pyrite near me. Let's go over towards this pyrite. Please don't get frozen. Now, because we've been being conservative with our pyrite, we're not really that concerned that we're far away from basically all the pyrite. Because we have enough to maintain for a long time. Whereas if we were spamming, we could get ourselves in some trouble. There we go. We do have to get in range of some pyrite somewhere. Don't think we have quite enough to save the different demolishers were pulling on the same pyrite canister. There were multiple hooks on it. It was going back and forth. That was kind of funny. There we go. So we want to get near this teleporter. That's going to be our fastest way out of here. Assassination gear equipped. Mounting up. We're a little slow to get on target here, but that's okay. I mean, it's not good, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is.
Run away.
Boot. Cloak. Yeah, so I got that unquenchable flame and my health was a little low, so I hit the cloak to clear off my other damage debuff. So we're going to do 2 waves of these dwarves. And then the Ignis trash will be coming down the steps there. Whoa, I do not want to go in that stuff. Kind of low health. Okay, these aren't coming in exactly as we planned. They're a little late. Kind of moved so I stay out of those tornadoes. Evasion. Because the one mob was spinning.
Quickly, she won't remain grounded for long.
Boss it down, boss it down. What the? Oh, that was a fire tornado from the Rager. I was like, it's not time for a Razor knockback yet. We gotta pump a lot of damage here. She'll come back down. 3%. She'll come right back down. It'll be okay. This does happen sometimes. Especially with the delayed pull of the ads. Wait, really? Oh no. That's not good.
Run away.
That's unfortunate. So the ads came in a little bit late, I believe because the hunter died was part of the reason. I don't know why they died, but they were dead. Yeah. We missed that by just a little bit. Unfortunate. Not a great start, but we can still have a clean rest of the run. You know, that's losing about 90 seconds. Wonder how close that is. Okay, obviously not a great start. But we've recovered from worse, that's for sure.
Run away. Run away.
I hit a Tricks of the Trade and then mounted up. Oh, I forgot to drum though. Good. My Tricks of the Trade was good. My stealth was not good. I didn't get the stealth off right at the start. Oh, he backed up. Okay, we move back. We move this way now. Where is he going? Okay. There's a trade out. Good. Faint again. Okay, no slag pots so far. I like that part. Re-up hunger. Keep doing faint. Moving through. Okay, cooldowns are for the heart. Because the trade will go on the warlock after the heart. Here we are. On the boss, chillin'. Looking good. Tricks out on my warlock buddy. Switch this to be this person. And do my focus tricks. Just like that. We go over here. We go back. Re-up hunger. That's good. Got the tricks of the trade on the warlock buddy. Uh-oh, we lost a rogue. Okay, they got revived. Why am I still in combat? Why am I still in combat? Okay, well, we're just sprinting. I was sitting there waiting to hit my mount. Oh! I just hit, got hit by 70k. What on earth? Is it the immobilized robots? I think it was the immobilized robots. I don't think I can food buff here. No, I've got to go. Can't be behind. Hit the evasion. Cloak? Okay. Yeah, so one of the robots in the pack that killed me, it has an ability where it immobilizes itself, and that's really dangerous because a mob that's immobilized will attack whatever player who's actually in melee range that's the highest threat. Which means if the tank accidentally moves just slightly out of range, then you're in trouble. And, like, all the melee are vulnerable, and I think that's what happened to me. Is that the mob immobilized itself, and then, the tank was, like, slightly out of range. Because I had only done AoE damage to that mob. The odds that I, like, just straight up pulled threat over the tank was very low.
Translocation complete. Commencing planetary analysis of Azeroth. Stand back, Mortals. It is in the universe's best
Okay.
interest to re-originate.
Algalon has been engaged. Algalon, prior to Algalon, is probably when we get our food buff. We got to get into the Algalon room and then activate our food buff while the like spawn RP plays out. Okay. Nice. Okay. Melee's good. Oh, I got a friggin' parry. He turned around to cast some bullshit spell right as I hit the Envenom. Unlucky. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Drum. Sprint. Oh, there's another mob I'm gonna have to kill. See if I can get a food buff right here. I got pretty far ahead of the rest of the group. Food buff acquired. There we go. Okay. This one's a little scary. We are going to start with the Tricks of the Trade on our Warlock friend. This is not going to be tricksing, hang on. Stay in stealth. Not going to be tricksing the tank to start with on this one. We want fast kill. So tricks Warlock and be careful on threat at the start. Good. Good safe opener.
The stars come to my aid.
There's the star death. Right leg.
Watch your step.
Left leg.
Watch your step.
Left leg.
Prime shelter.
Fury of the cosmos.
Melee right leg.
Watch your step.
Left leg. Someone just got blasted into the stratosphere.
Watch your step.
Right leg. Tricks
Watch
range.
your step.
Go back to our Warlock because we're sub 30 now. We're doing a bunch of Frost Decay, Tricks of the Trade mid-fight.
Prime shelter.
Fury of the cosmos. Behold the tools of creation.
Watch your step.
Left leg.
I do what I must.
Lost a tank. 1 more percent. Right leg. Okay. You want to go for combat spec. Replace the glyph. Do this. Do this. Uh-oh.
Million lives wasted. Had they all held within them your tenacity? Had they all loved life as you
They said go straight into this on voice, and some people went into it before the tank.
that allows you to persevere against all cosmically calculated odds. You prevail with the Titan's own perfect creations that kill.
Ready to switch to the arm when it grabs. Switch. Back to body. Yeah, so it was a little bit of a scuffle. I think some people interpreted the voice command over chat where they said go right into it as like we're ready to pull, but actually the paladin tank was a little bit behind. We were not in fact ready to pull. There we go. Okay. Not perfect, but also not that bad either. Considering the pull was so scuffed, I think that turned out well. We're in combat spec now. I had threat on one of them. Good. Nice. Okay. 40 seconds on drums. Can hit a free action here. Just hit a big slice right there. Now we can go over here. Good. Holding W. Big drum usage from everyone. Getting on this champion of Hodir. We're looking out for the Revenant to come through. Re-up slice. Good. Face the mob that I have aggro on so I can dodge its attacks. Dragging this right up into the room. Get some fan of knives here. Okay. This is the mob we want.
You will suffer for this trespass.
Fix the trade, the tank. Adrenaline. In the moonbeam. Keep getting knocked around.
Consume you. Welcome to the end.
This has got to be a blade flirt, or sorry, a slice. They dropped Singe stacks. That's unfortunate. Shattered the cache. Did he shatter it? No, we kept it. That was so close. Alright, looks like we're going to Thorim.
We haven't much time, friends. You're going to help me test out my latest and greatest creation.
Oh, I forgot to actually...
Change your mind. Remember that you kind of owe it to me after the mess you made with the XP002.
Forgot to actually switch into the move speed elixir. When I went combat. Yeah. Got a little distracted. Forgot that detail. Fixed it right now so we can go fast again. Okay, we're killing this and then summoning our paladin who is doing the Mimiron skip. They weren't able to get back to the group on their own. Do some repoisoning. We have our food buff still. Oh, they're pulling. Okay. Fix tank. Okay, we're in.
You mortals who dare to interfere with my sport will pay. I remember you. In the mountains. But you, what is this?
Is there still time to beat Benediction record? We lost 90 seconds at the start because we didn't one-phase Razorscale for a couple of different reasons. And we had a couple extra deaths on Kologarn, but everything else has been smooth. So I'd say there's still possibility, but you know, the 90-second cut at the start from not one-phasing Razorscale is pretty harsh. Just trying to be safe in this section. Don't want to take unnecessary risks. This part's very easy, and it's like, everyone gets mad at you if you die on this part, because, like, you did something dumb. If you died here, it's entirely your fucking fault. Okay, boss time. Fix my warlock, buddy. Looking for the chain lightning cast. Where is it? Come on. There we go. It's my warlock again. I wanted to get that killing spree off right away because if I can get it off really early, then oh shit. I fainted at a bad time. If I can get it off really early, then I can get a second usage in the fight. But if I delay it too long, I only get one use, so it's really important to do it as early as possible. There's a correct feint timing. Okay, we're looking for a chain lightning cast now, and we can do the killing spree immediately after. There we go. There we go. That was pretty good, I'd say. Drum. I find Shades SQ, I find speedrunning really fun because every part of the instance is important. Like how you do the bosses, how you pull the trash, every pull matters in a speedrun. And I feel like that's much more engaging and fun than like focusing on bosses only.
You must prevail.
What's going on? Oh, they're setting up for Auriaya, I see. Okay. One didn't jump. Okay. We'll use Vanish to negate the first fear.
Fear incoming.
Perfect. And we got Human Racial for the next one. Maintaining good rupture uptime with 5-point ruptures. Crits my Warlock buddy. Dispatch these stupid cats.
Stack.
We'll miss that rupture because we did a bunch of Fan of Knives there instead. We'll just get this rupture up.
Fear incoming. Inflict.
Human Racial to get out of that. It's probably not going to be another rupture, but it can be another killing spree. Boss is almost dead, which is why I'm not going to rupture it. Okay. New health stone. What the? Oh, they're doing these guys back here. Alright, we're not cooldowning right here, because we're going to cool down on the even bigger pull next. Always got to kill those, like, really evenly. You don't want one dying before the other. Whoa. Good. Gotta focus Guardian Lasher here. Every fucking time, dude. Switch back to regular weapon. We did not get a lot of damage on those. Gonna cloak and go in. No, they're not in position. Never mind. They kind of like went the other way. Dude, every week, dude. I swear to God. Every week we get those detonators first and we fuck them up somehow. We don't have anyone dead yet. So all forest swarmers. Almost all. There we go. Okay.
Children, assist me!
Out of the light beams. Don't die. Okay, we got our 5 points, so we're gonna chill.
Your servant requires aid.
Here we go. Where's the mushroom? Can't attack until I'm in a mushroom. There we go. Put a rupture on as early as possible. I think if I waited longer for the 5 point, it might not have finished before the thing dies. Light beams.
The swarm of the elements shall overtake you.
Titan. Don't go too far. You don't want to reset. Okay, good. They're bringing it back. That's smart.
Your servant requires aid.
Where's the mushroom? We're going to get a triple pack as the last pull, and I'll have all my cooldowns ready for it.
Run out.
Well,
Run out.
oh my god, double.
Children, assist me.
Okay, good. We're on to boss. Gotta kill the roots. Tricks my warlock buddy. Light beams. Move out of those. Don't want to die. Believe it or not, better to not die than to die. Paint up for the ground tremor cast. Nice damage reduction there. Good.
Can see clearly once more. Thank you, heroes.
Spark of Imagination going to Mimiron. We do a little sprint. Get there faster. During a phase transition, we will reapply poisons. Good. Adrenaline is for phase 2 and phase 4. Not this phase, though. Oh, that's some shit fire.
Run out.
This area will self-destruct in 9 minutes.
Wonderful! Positively marvelous
Just a fell striker.
98.9%.
There it is.
Barely a step. Moving right along.
I'm gonna go to this side.
001 M-Time personnel assault cannon. You might want to take cover.
Parry, double parry at the start. Oh my god, super cringe.
This area will self-destruct in 8 minutes.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Keep moving.
Okay. We do not want to get too close to the boss. The hitbox for Laser Barrage does actually extend a little bit behind the boss.
Watch your step.
I have killed myself to that twice.
Thank you, friends. Your efforts have yielded some fantastic data. Now,
This is going to be phase 3 coming up here.
now there it is. Thank you.
This area will
Okay, we're flame capped.
7 minutes.
Isn't it beautiful? I call it the magnificent aerial command unit.
Ooh. We want to eliminate those firebots immediately, so they don't cause chaos with, like, spawning and despawning fire. Basically, the bots despawn the fire, which allows more fire to spawn in places that, you know, we don't know where it is.
This area will
It's clean.
in 6 minutes.
Preliminary testing phase complete. Now,
Oh, they grabbed it. I was running towards it to get it. Try to get one more slice there.
gaze upon its magnificence. Vast and its glorious glory. I present you with C07TRON.
Watch your step.
Hell.
In 5 minutes.
Almost time.
Watch your step. Keep moving. Run out. Watch your step.
That was unfortunate because it was doing Laser Barrage at the same time I was trying to do my other cooldowns. I couldn't do Killing Spree because Killing Spree had a high chance of getting me killed while the boss is doing Laser Barrage.
Watch your step.
I got a throttle now.
Self-destruct sequence terminated.
There we go.
Override code A905.
Okay. Drum time. We're gonna save our sprint and our rocket boot here.
Miscalculation. I allowed
Oh.
my mind to be corrupted by that fiend in the prison, overriding my primary directive. All systems seem to be functional now. Clear.
We're saving the sprint and the rocket boot because we're gonna use them to allow a spec swap after this first pull here. Still got there ahead of the group without... Okay, that's good. Made a disconnect. Whoa. Raid Leader just said speedrun dead. I hate it. Because they think we're not going to go fast enough through the rest of this. Yeah. They're saying we want to rebuff your...
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. We should have put a slice and dice up earlier. It would have been a little bit better. But we basically executed our plan here, which is, whoa, that's a mind control. I tabbed to I saw a bar pop up. I was like, oh, new enemy, because I was expecting the Void Beast, but it was a friendly. Okay. We want to kill this mob. Gear swap. Spec swap. There we go. Okay, here we are. We're in our spec. We're ready to go. Double pull. I love that pull. Pull is so fun. Back to regular weapons. Didn't get feared once. Pretty nice. Both the elephants are in. Then we'll have a couple seconds after the elephants are dead to swap back to oh, I'm missing a poison on these. Okay, I see. I didn't refresh this one during Mimiron. Oh, they said straight in. Usually they have like a 10-second wait right here to refill mana.
Interrupt 1.
Okay, they're
Interrupt 3.
Interrupt. Now I would agree with this speedrun being over. Now it's over. But, I mean, the raid leader said it was over after Mimiron. It's a little bit of a sus... Wait, where are they going? Look, we probably could have gone in and matched our time. I think we were when they called stop, we were at about 53 minutes or 54 minutes. I think we could have at least matched our time. You know, I don't think it was clear that it was going to be worse than our best time at that point. You know who's at fault? El Marty, you say? Is that true? I feel like the Razorscale was probably a result of the Ignis trash coming in so late. That's what I would assume. It just kills the Animus a little bit faster, however much the, like, melee benefit from it. Which is probably not a lot of time. They're talking about trying to get a Shadow Crash puddle for the melee. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be this trash pack plus Vezax at the same time. That's what we were about to do before, but we didn't have a damage reduction cooldown for the tank available. And it just, the tank went splat. What are you guys doing? You making fun of medium size, dude? Medium size my homie, dude. He played Warrior in Classic. I remember fighting against him for world bosses. We shared a crib? Crazy. Okay. That's wild. That's farther back than I go with him. You're right, I won't ban you, El Marty. But that won't stop me from deleting your blasphemous message. Wait, what happened? Oh, Orim, when you put up a prediction, what you should do is you should say in chat, and then I will say over voice, and then people will know about it. Let's see, no participation, so let's just delete and return points. Prediction, will we kill it this try? Yes or no. Here's a 5-minute timer on that prediction. That should be good. Okay, prediction is up. Alright, they're changing the Vezax strategy.
Interrupt 1.
Being feared?
Run away. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Wait, I should probably close this prediction before we wipe and then everyone changes their vote.
Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Closing prediction?
Interrupt 3.
That's the trouble with prediction timers.
Interrupt 1.
You gotta close it before the group wipes.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1.
Oh, we gotta keep tricksing the tank. I forgot about that for a moment.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Yeah, but it's not dead. It just got hit.
Interrupt 1.
Look at that Vapor's health pool. Someone ass blasted that Vapor, and we're just lucky it didn't get killed. We're still alive here.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
No, you can't cleave them. You only hit Vapors. Like,
Interrupt 2.
you can Blade Flurry and the Vapor standing right next to you. It doesn't do anything. You have to target the Vapor and do a single target spell at it.
Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1.
Fix on the tank.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
What the? He healed. He healed like a lot.
3.
Sub 5?
Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
Stay with the other melees. We're moving him.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1.
Okay, we're chilling.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1. Interrupt.
Did they do something to them? I don't know, dude. I think people have just been doing Ulduar for so many weeks that they turn their brain off. I keep hearing people tab targeting the Vapors. It's like, why?
Interrupt 2.
What the Animus is spawning.
Interrupt 3.
What are we doing?
Begin. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2.
I was out of range for a moment.
Interrupt 3.
Okay, I mean, we had the crash for a little bit.
Interrupt 1.
I don't know what that really...
Interrupt 2.
Can we get it from over here? Do we still have the crash?
Interrupt 3.
No, we're out of range now. That seemed like pretty convoluted.
Interrupt 2.
I know I did a Cold Blood and Venom with the Shadow Crash active. That was hype. I don't know how much it hit for, but it was probably like 25,000.
Interrupt.
I'll have to check the VOD.
Interrupt 2. Interrupt 3.
Don't worry, we'll do a log check after the run for sure.
Interrupt 1.
Saw a 22k? That sounds about right.
Interrupt 3. Interrupt 1.
Okay. We did kill it this time. Lucky. Believers rewarded. Lair of the Heavens. I mean, it's no Pendulum of Infinity. Okay. Prediction. Start prediction. Will we one phase the brain? Question mark. That's a, do we, sorry, that's a, let me be more clear. Will we one phase the brain and kill the boss? Okay. If we one phase the brain and then wipe,
5,
that's
4,
not it.
1.
The time to strike at the head of the beast will soon be upon us. Focus your anger and hatred on his minions. Yes, yes! Show them no mercy! Give them no Let hatred and rage guide your blows.
Cloak up. Let him die with combo points. That was a mistake. Faint. Didn't get that one either. Getting sloppy here. Oof.
Yes, yes! Show them no mercy! Give no pause to your attacks!
Is this faint too early? DPS is kind of low. It's not dead. Oh yeah, that faint was in fact too early. Oh, oh, we got popped by that one.
Let hatred and rage
There we go. We're okay. I'm just gonna back away so that I don't die like a bitch. Where that corruptor at, yo? Oh, whoa, where that? Wait, that's a guardian. Here's the corruptor.
tremble, mortals, before the coming of the end.
Decent. Oh, new corruptor? Let's go. Maximum spell interrupts?
Run away.
Nice. There was Malady on one of the melees, but he just ran directly away from the rest of us, so we were good. 10 to portals. Random sanity loss right there. Reefed.
Tremble, mortals, before the coming of the end.
Bad news, sire. The clans are united under Black Hand in this assault. They will stand together until Stormwind has fallen.
Fucking send it. Bunch of the range DPS complaining that they got this heroism upstairs. But some of them didn't. Commit.
Look upon the true face of death, and know that your end comes soon.
There we go. Okay, can we take it home, or are we gonna lose? Tricks the trade out. Redo this hunger for blood. Got some trinkets up now. I still have Wrathstone. Oh my god, dude. I still have Wrathstone equipped. F me, dude. That's why I wasn't getting a Comet's Trail proc. I had equipped the Wrathstone for general... for the Vezax trash, and it looks like I never unequipped it. Little oopsies there. Don't worry, guys. Wrathstone isn't... Wrathstone that you don't even activate isn't that much worse than Comet's Trail. It is, actually. It's incredibly worse, especially if you don't even activate it. Because you didn't even remember it was there. Okay, we did secure it. That's a yes on that prediction. Now we get to roll on Mimiron's head. Ooh, Cunning Deception dropped again? I don't need those. I don't know what loot dropped throughout the whole run. Worm Hunter, Unerring Mantle. Come on. Wait, this is all sucks. Okay. You realize on Yogg that you still have Flame Leviathan gear on? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, the items I'm hoping for are Golden Serenite Dragon. Don't know if that dropped. Blade Twister, number 2. And Pendulum. But we know Pendulum didn't drop. I looked at that one. It was stupid Flare of the Heavens instead. I mean, who even wants that trinket? F, dude. That's not a Blade Twister, but I don't know. There could still be a Golden Serenite. I didn't see what the loot was off of Flame Leviathan. At the very least, we will be able to roll on Mimiron's head. The only actually cool mount in all of Wrath of the Lich King. Let's be honest. Mimiron's Inferno couplings. Oh, multiple people need those. Okay, that's why they're asking for a roll. Let's see if there are some Warcraft logs to look at. You can still see the loot allocation right there. pretty nice page right there. Date May 17th, that's today. Encounters. Encounter ID exclamation point equals 744. This filters out Flame Leviathan. Here you go. Here's the log link. Oh, wait, hang on. There's the log link. Okay. Overall, I'd say I'm not quite happy with that performance. I felt like... Where did I die? I died, on the pull after XT. Let's go encounters and trash fights. I should look better. Yeah, I look better on that one. So automatically, this is the most important meter because it's the one that makes me look the best, obviously. Now, yeah, let's check out that general Vezax and Venom damage. Critical hit maximum. It was a partial resist on a critical hit. That was 22,304 damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay, let's go boss by boss. Little Razorscale. Nice speedrun, guys. Gray and green parses across the board on account of we two-phased Razorscale. Unlucky. Yikes. Ignis, top of the line right there. XT was probably pretty good because we didn't get any gravity bombs. Yeah, we're right up there near the top. Okay, but what if... Who did the most tricks damage? Belrogue? Corruption, 29k. How is Belrogue's at 66k and mine's at 29k? That's literally twice as much. That's insane. How is my tricks that much worse? Alright, whatever. Alright, there's still no loot out for us. Okay, XT Deconstructor, Iron Council. Pretty good. Rogue Domination. Love to see it. Algalon. Crushing it. Look at that. Huge. Kologarn. Little bit scuffed. Hodir. Thorim. Thorim was okay, but yeah, basically, combat's not a great spec for Thorim. So we don't expect to be as high. Disown is probably not switching throughout the run. He might be, yeah, it looks like he's the one guy who's staying Assassination the whole run. I keep tabbing in to see if there's any loot for me to click on. Auriaya was pretty good. Freya, I feel like was pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, we did all right. Not great. Freya, Mimiron. We did all right. Did we didn't die in Mimiron, did we? Did something go wrong? Usually I think I do more damage than this on Mimiron. That's right. At the end of Mimiron, we did a killing spree, but we were not able to Blade Flurry it because of some unfortunate timings of things. General Vezax, we looked at that before. Yogg-Saron should be pretty good. You know, that's a very fast kill. We didn't actually, wow, we did actually shit damage. What if we look at only Brain of Yogg-Saron? We still did kind of shit damage. Oh yeah, at General Vezax and Yogg, we had wrong trinket on. That's right. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so the main thing that went wrong with this run is at the start, we had a couple different complications that caused us to not one-phase Razorscale, which added like 90 seconds or 2 minutes to the run. Like, Razorscale came down and then flew back up, and then we had to do a whole nother turret phase before she came right down again. And then we finally finished it off. So that there's like that extra phase really screwed us. Let me look at this. Cunning Deception, Constellus, Cosmos. Yeah, okay, none of that's good. Belt of the Betrayed, Flare of the Heavens, General's Heart, Lifebinder. I don't think we got a Golden Serenite Dragon. I don't know what the loot we did get was off of that boss. But I'm pretty sure if that dropped, I would have seen it already. Whatever. Anyways. Basically, we had a delay with the... So, when we pull Razorscale, we also have someone else going off to pull the Ignis trash into Razorscale and kill that during Razorscale. The problem we had there was the trash coming in was significantly delayed. So everyone was still fighting the Magma Ragers and molten golems when Razorscale landed. So people weren't on Razorscale's spawn point when she came down. So it was a little bit of delay getting up to Razorscale, and then also we had a number of deaths before Razorscale landed, which certainly reduced our damage output. And it reduced it just barely enough that we missed the health threshold by about 0.5%. Did you have a person starting Algalon when you did Iron Council? We do that, like, not during Iron Council, but immediately after XT. We have the person just run past the trash to open Algalon's door. But we don't engage Algalon, so we still have that initial RP, I believe. I don't handle that, so I don't know exactly. But I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Excuse me. Alright, so we still haven't gotten to roll on the Mimiron's head yet. That's the important thing we're looking for here. Yeah, I'd say we did all right tonight, but I definitely could have performed better. There were a number of mistakes. Yeah, I mean, the only, like, really bad mistake was the Razorscale. Everything other than... Oh, and there was a General Vezax wipe. That was also really bad. Outside of those two, everything else was really clean and good, I'd say. Just, like, just a couple of, like, really minor mistakes of, like, not perfectly optimizing things like, I don't know, I equipped my wrong trinket for a couple of bosses. for a Flame Leviathan set. They are disenchanting both of the Constellus that dropped tonight. Crazy. I got Constellus on one of my alt rogues, but not on my main. So we're just waiting until they get to the mount, and then they'll let us roll on the mount. Disenchanting Comet's Trail would be more painful. That would be kind of crazy, dude. So many classes need comets. Constellus is not needed by nearly as many classes. Roll for reply code alpha. We do not need that. We already have it. Signet ring. Oh, okay. We actually found 2 recipients for the Constellus. They were trying to like they're trying to like on voice chat convince people to actually even take them. They went to 2 different off-spec people. Like, we gave one to Prot Paladin and one to Shadow Priest for our Constellus that dropped tonight. Wait, I think it... Okay. My slash roll is ready. Pricks, hello, what's up? We are at the... Wait, roll for the mount. God damn it. Oh, we got a 21 on the mount. Oh, it's over, dude. Conductive seal? Wait, hang on. Flame Leviathan set. Off spec. Pass on that one. Judal, Typhi, Polterra. No mount for us, but at least we still have our Warglaves. Look, Novolok, listen, we have to at least try to get Conductive Seal, okay? How else are we ever going to have a perfect 252 item level average Flame Leviathan set? Okay. That's all we've got for tonight, you guys. I'm not going to stay up for a 10-man. I don't even have a character free for another 10-man. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Despite the mistakes, I mean, that was still a fast run. Yeah. So, the weekend is the weekend schedule is going to have a lot of Trial of the Crusader on the PTR. However, I don't know exactly when those are going to happen. My guild's planning to do some, but we don't have an exact schedule out yet. So stay tuned. I'll update this pinned in the stream channel. But tomorrow, for sure, is going to be mountain binding runs on Wrath, then Hardcore Classic, and we'll start around noon my time, roughly. So, good. Let's see if any of our other buddies are streaming on Twitch, and we can send a raid over to them. Pummel's going on. No Hit Jerome, Crateria, Bobka, Lottie. Let's see what Crateria's up. I wouldn't say I've been missing it. What does that mean? What's going on here? Dude, he's still doing Ulduar. Okay, let's go to Crateria. It's been a while since we've raided Crateria. Alright. Crateria, big mage player. I understand you guys might be allergic to blue bars, but trust me, Crateria is pretty cool, even for a blue bar player. Okay? Trust me. Trust me. Say hi to Mr. Crateria for me. Sending over the raid.
Fine, spin up. We're fine with that. Pyroblast, Pyroblast.
Feet are good.
Oh!
Who said feet are definitely good? Ban hit.
Assemble. Oh, what the fuck? There's fire still there
Yeah,
after
the
the
fire
boss.
will go under the chest, so loot it quick.
Simon Eyes, I was just talking about you. Your disciple, I'm useful, tried to defeat me. He failed. Okay? Try again, Simon. Send another one of your disciples. Because, I'm useful was not strong enough. He didn't take us down. Now, granted, it's also Firefighter. We're OP on Firefighter. I don't give a shit, okay? He may have beaten me just barely on Thorim, but we got him everywhere else, Simon Eyes, okay? So, take your flunky, give him a few lessons, send him back. Also, dude, when are we going to raid together? We got to get a little competition, you know? How's it going, man? Thank you so much for the raid. How's everybody doing? Thoughts on every item being 2 items for the Wowhead item? Yeah. I mean, I don't think he minds. That's just how it is. What'd we get, by the way? Delirium's Touch? Really, dude? This is the garbage we got? Jesus. Okay, well. No Crown of Luminescence to steal from the Warlocks. Yeah, Yellow Army Invasion. How was your raid, Simon? I hope it went well. Yeah, exactly, Hardin County. My man keyed on, and there's definitely some things being tossed around in his background. I don't know, my weekend raid schedule is a little scuffed right now. It may turn into a free road for 25 minutes. I mean, if I can get to the Toxic run on Sunday, then we could raid together. But I'm busy Sunday PTRing, which I'm guessing you may be as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just keep missing each other. Unfortunately. I saw that the decent speedrun, not perfect, 1 to 2 mistakes ruined it. Gotcha. I saw that I wasn't able to tune in, but you had it said failed speedrun in the title, so I wasn't sure what happened there. But I mean, those will happen. As you of course know, we are kind of done with speedrunning, which is unfortunate because yeah, that means our time is probably not going to hold up. We're going to get beat. Are you hearing thunder? That. Either that or my wife is doing some nonsense outside right now. By nonsense, I mean doing work. God bless her soul.
Did anybody talk?
Okay, it's dinner time. Have a good raid. Hey,
I'll go do it.
thank you so much, Simon. Cheers, man. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it, dude. Cheers. We'll chat later.